Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have no set intro, so I never really know what to say here. But on this video, I'm gonna do my opinions on 6 new skincare launches. I think most of them are drugstore. So we've got the BYOMA Collagen Wrapping Mask, the L'Oreal Glass Skin Masks, the Rhode Caffeine Reset Mask, which is their newest launch, the Medicube SPF, the Garnier Vitamin C Wondertint, which is a tinted sunscreen they've released in 3 shades, and the Supergoop Dew screen. I also do this kind of content on Substack where I do this thing called first thought. So if you like this kind of content, I am quicker to Substack because obviously I just have to write it down on Substack. But if you like reading and you like, this is the product we're talking about today, this is my opinion, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, that is all on Substack just in case. But I understand people on YouTube don't necessarily like to read. So we're gonna start with the BYOMA Collagen Liquid Wrapping Mask. It's a bit of a mouthful. I just wanna make it clear as well before I start that my opinion on these things is obviously my opinion. I think sometimes people think I'm quite opinionated, maybe I should have less opinions. But I always say this is just the answer you would get if you were my friend and you WhatsApped me about products, because as you can imagine, a lot of my friends WhatsApp me photos of their skin, products they've been using, products they're considering buying. And I always say, like, this is just my opinion. I've never pretended to be a doctor, and a lot of my answers are tailored to the people I know who are watching my videos, which is people who break out very easily and are generally afraid of breaking out from buying new products. And they're trying to look at what's available in Boots, Superdrug, Space NK, and pick things that have a low risk of them breaking out. So that's who I primarily speak to. That's where my opinion comes from. But then I also try and give like a more well-rounded answer for the people I know who watch me that don't necessarily break out easily. They just want to know what I think of a product. Starting with the BYOMA bio-collagen Radiance Facial Mask. That's a mouthful. It comes in this square plastic tub, a lot like their oil cleanser, and it's a liquid that you apply to your face, I presume with your hands, or maybe they supply a little tool. I see no tool. Your hands? Put it all over your face, wait at least 20 minutes they say, and then peel it off. Honestly, this is not a product I would ever use, and that's really down to my personal preferences. I don't really have any interest in wrapping masks. I really don't like peel-off masks. I find them messy, impractical, and just like really unnecessary to a routine. I don't believe you can get any long-lasting results from masks like this. Maybe that's a big statement, but that's just how I feel. Like, maybe if you wanted to use it before a night out to apply your makeup on top of, I could understand. But if that's the case, I would just be thinking like, maybe you need to change your consistent daily morning and evening skincare routine so that you don't feel you have to do that before a night out. Like, I don't know if that's really idealistic, but that's just how I think. Peel-off masks remind me of going to sleepovers when I was 10 and getting little bits of the mask stuck like down the side of your nose and like in your hairline. So I guess it's just straight off the bat, it's not something I would buy, but I understand, especially one that I have to apply with my fingers. Like, I'd much rather apply like a sheet mask if I'm gonna go there than one that I have to like dunk my fingers into a tub and then, no, that's not appealing to me. Other than that, the ingredients, my honest opinion, even though I like BYOMA as a brand, I think this is quite likely to break people out, honestly. I think BYOMA do make a lot of products that break people out. Again, that's quite a sweeping generalization, but you have to remember, like, I spend so much time on Reddit, I spend so much time in comment sections, I spend so much time looking at the public opinion of products and deciphering whether they're real or fake opinions based on like real or fake reviews. And when I look at the product formulas as well, I just don't think they're made with people who break out easily from products in mind. I think they're made for people who might have hormonal acne, who can still put any product on their face that they want to put on and that not cause a breakout. But there is this subsection of people, you and I'm assuming, that break out very easily when it comes to new products, and I would estimate that this is one of them. I don't think it's a bad product, I just wouldn't use it personally. I don't think it's essential for a routine when you're focusing on long-term results. I think it's more useful as a short-term tool, maybe to like prep your skin for like a big event where you're gonna wear makeup or something. But you have to think about what kind of ingredients go into making a mask that is going to be the texture of like a goop in a cube when you pull it out and then apply it thinly to your face and then it sets and it's peeled off. So many of the ingredients are going to be contributing to it being able to do that. And I think many of those ingredients are the ones that are probably going to cause issues for people with very breakout prone skin. I just don't think the reward you get, a short-term glowy effect, is worth the breakouts that are probably going to ensue. That's just my guess, my opinion. I wouldn't use it myself. The other thing, and I know I'm going on, but like the other thing is, this is clearly a product that's designed to follow a trend. It's not that all products that are designed to follow a trend are bad, and I don't think this product is inherently bad. I just feel like they lose credibility. From the photo of the goopy texture, they're hoping that they get viral videos out of that. That kind of annoys me. Like, why are you making a product with that in mind? You know what I mean? Like, I would never make a product look interesting just to hope that it goes viral. I appreciate these are all my opinions, but as I always say, this is what I would send to a friend. Like, it's been designed with virality in mind, and that's not the type of skincare I'm particularly interested in. The next one is the L'Oreal Glass Skin Mask, which I actually just did a whole video on this whole glass skin range on TikTok and YouTube. These are the hydrogel collagen masks. I mean, at this point, they're all named the same thing because they're all just trying to go after the same thing. It's the I hope this goes viral on social media moment, which kind of just annoys me. Is it only me that annoys? Revitalift Glass Skin Hydrogel Glow Mask. So it's one of these masks that like disappears into your skin. I think the original one of these, or at least the one that originally went viral, is the BioDance mask. This for me is an obvious no. I go into more detail on my YouTube video, but third ingredient is coconut oil. And like, I'm not one for singling out ingredients and just saying, well, because of that ingredient, I can't use it, other than fragrance, because I can't use fragrance products. But coconut oil is like a non-negotiable for me. And I think for people who break out easily, it's an easy one to avoid, especially when it's the third ingredient, so it's in quite a high quantity. It's just a very widely regarded acne trigger that I think most people with acne prone skin should avoid because it is so well known to cause issues for people. On top of that, it also has shea butter and fragrance. So like I said in my other video, L'Oreal are very smart with their products. They give the illusion of coming up with lots of new products when in reality they just slightly change their old formulas and then package the product in like a new color to make you think it's a new range. Actually, a lot of brands do this. But for example, this cleanser, this isn't really a new formula at all. This is just one of their old formulas with like one ingredient change so they can call it new. So when it comes to these, no, I wouldn't suggest that anyone purchase these. And also I already posted this on TikTok and a lot of the comments were people saying, yeah, I used these and broke out, or I used these and I had a reaction. Obviously that type of video is going to attract more people who are unsuccessful with it than people who are successful with it. I still think it counts for something. We then have the Rhode Caffeine Reset Mask, which I'm sure we are going to get an influx of people reviewing this soon because I think it's just become available to buy. It's £38. £38 for 50 mils. This is 30 mils. This is a tiny sunscreen and it's not much bigger than that. I always think about masks in terms of hair masks. Like, you know, when you use a hair mask, is it just me, or I use quite a lot of it? Like, I'm not getting many uses out of a tub of hair mask. So to think that this mask is only a little bit bigger than this is a little bit concerning for £38. So what do we have in this? We have caffeine. So it's designed to depuff your face. We have one peptide, poppy extract, a skin firming ingredient. I'm not on Inky Decoder, by the way. I'm on the Rhode website, just in case anyone's wondering. Essentially, I can't use many products, so if you ask me, am I going to try this, the answer is going to be no, because it has shea butter in it, and shea butter, I know for a fact, breaks me out. An easy way to think about products that claim that they are firming is just to remember that that's never going to be true. So anything that says it's firming, that you're putting on your face once, washing it off, is never going to actually firm your face. It's the same with lifting. Lifting and firming are two very ambiguous, subjective claims that brands can use because they're quite wishy-washy, and like I said, they're subjective. And also, just anything that lifts, you'd have to be defying gravity to lift. This isn't saying it lifts, but just in general, lifting and firming are two very ambiguous claims that I would just always take with a pinch of salt, especially if you're going to put something on your face and wash it off 20 minutes later. Like, it's not gonna happen. Would I use this? No, because I know it'll break me out because it has shea butter in it. Do I think this looks like a bad product? No, I think it looks like an interesting product. I don't tend to use masks, but I wouldn't immediately rule this out. I actually think of Rhode in general as one of the better celebrity skincare ranges. Like, when it first came out, I have done videos where they sent me a box of like every product in the range and I gave my honest opinions on all of them for acne prone people. I don't think for acne prone people it's the friendliest brand. I will also say that I tried the barrier butter and I personally thought it was very greasy and not really how I like products to feel on my skin, and I also did break out, which didn't really surprise me. But I don't think the products in general are bad for people without acne prone skin. I just think people who break out easily are probably going to break out when they use it. This mask doesn't really appeal to me. It's not something I'm going to buy. If it's the type of thing that you would buy and you don't break out super easily from products, do I think this will probably give your skin like an immediate kind of refreshed looking appearance? Yes, probably, because of the caffeine content. I think Hailey Bieber does make very good products for makeup prep, and she seems to be an expert in that particular niche. So I don't think this looks like a bad product. I won't be using it. I wouldn't be recommending it to people with acne prone skin. I think also, while I'm here, I just want to say, like, a lot of people ask me questions about, will this mask help with my acne, or will this facial help with my acne? And my answer to that is always the same, because I know I've been in that position before where acne is like all you think about on a daily basis and you're always looking for something that will help it. It always just comes back to like a few main things. The first thing is, if you're having acne on a regular basis, it's usually due to your hormones, which means the most powerful thing you can do is somehow change your hormones, either by medication or diet and lifestyle. I'm actually breaking out like on my chin. I've got 2 pimples and that never normally happens to me. And what I've changed in the last couple of weeks that I know has given me these pimples is I made a trauma candy salad video that I'm too scared to post because it involves something that happened to me last year, and I'm 100% sure the person that it involves, obviously I haven't named them in the video, but I'm 100% sure they watch everything that I do, and I just don't know if I want to open that can of worms. Basically, it left me with this really big box of pick and mix, and so every day I've been having pick and mix, and I knew that I'd get spots, but c'est la vie. Also, I've been really into eating cheese, and the reason I don't normally eat cheese or dairy on a regular basis is because I know it gives me spots. So I've been doing the 2 worst things that I know break me out. So the 2 hormonal pimples that I normally never get, no skincare is going to stop me from getting these, if that makes sense. Like my retinoid and my azelaic acid will absolutely take the edge off. If you've had acne for a while, it's going to be hormonal, and the way you can manipulate your hormones is either with medication, changing your diet, or changing your lifestyle. It doesn't mean that you're unhealthy, it doesn't mean that you're living a bad lifestyle, it's just that there are some things. There have been studies on the link between the Western diet, which has a lot of dairy in it, and acne. Dairy increases insulin growth factor 1, IGF-1, and that causes the skin here to produce more oil. I'm really skimming over the details. People will say that it's inconclusive, but when you actually read it, and I'm not claiming to be able to read studies like a scientist, but you don't really need to be able to see that there is a huge correlation between people having dairy and it giving them more acne. So all I'm saying is a mask and a facial is probably not going to really help with your acne if it's inflamed because it's hormonal. So I wouldn't look at this mask as a savior for acne, but maybe just like this glass skin serum, like maybe if makeup prep is something that's important to you, then yes, the mask might be nice. Like I wouldn't be surprised if, or this serum, I mean probably the mask, not that serum, but I wouldn't be surprised if I started seeing makeup artists use the new Rhode mask as part of their makeup prep in videos. I'm conscious of coming on here and being like, that's good, that's shit, that's good, that's shit, without really explaining what I mean, but maybe I'm just over-explaining. Tell me, because I want to know. We then have the Supergoop Dew screen, which actually is the first Supergoop sunscreen that I've wanted to try since they existed, because I have been gifted stuff by Supergoop in the past and they seem to want to work with me. I've not worked with them. I don't think I've ever worked with them. They have sent me products, but I've never worked with them on a paid basis. Whenever they contact me, I will go on the website and I'll be like, have they released anything that I would like to try, namely sunscreens, because I'm always looking for new sunscreens. I always go through every single one of their products again, just in case I've missed anything. They always have either fragrance that I can't use on my face. Even when I've used the sunscreen which has fragrance on my neck, I found that eventually irritates my mouth, because obviously it's not very far away and the skin is one like continual thing. So the fragrance ones I can't use on my face, and when I use them on my body, or at least close to my face, it irritates my face. Or they have a formula which I can just tell is gonna cause me breakouts, because let's be real, most sunscreens cause me breakouts. So when I can see one and it's just full of things which I know are going to be a problem for me. Basically none of the sunscreens I've ever been felt like I could use. The Dew screen is one that I actually would really like to try, but it's not available in the UK. I think it's only available in the US. I'm sure it will come to the UK. What I like about this sunscreen formula, it's minimal, it doesn't have a lot going on in it, which is quite rare for a sunscreen. We have 4 different sunscreen filters. They're not the most exciting, they are the typical like American old school avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, octocrylene, but the rest of the formula is very minimal, and I think for acne prone skin this could be a good one, and I'd really like to try this one. It's SPF 50, it says it's hydrating, it says it has a dewy finish and could be a good primer, so I'm definitely going to try and find this one and see if I can use it before summer, because one thing about my sunscreens is they're not the best for makeup prep, and I'm getting more into makeup. This is the best one I found so far. It's the Aveeno Calm and Restore Moisturizing SPF 50. It's in a box because I'm still working my way through the old bottle. I'm nearly done with that. This is the best one I found so far, but I would like something a little bit creamier because I'm working with a lot of cream makeup products. So this Dew screen, that looks good to me. I would like to try it. So if you've tried it, please let me know what you think in the comments. So we have 2 more sunscreens. The Medicube Collagen Glow sunscreen, not to be confused with the Collagen Firming sunscreen, because all of their sunscreens look and sound the same. And the second one is the Garnier Wondertint, which comes in 3 tints. I've seen them in store, but I can't see them online. A light, medium, and a dark. questionable, and a fourth shade which is untinted, if that counts. The Garnier Wonder Tint has fragrance, so immediately it's not one that I personally am going to be able to use, which is a shame because I'm always interested in testing tinted sunscreens, especially if they're drugstore, because I really don't think you need to spend a lot of money to get good products. But the problem for me is that I cannot use fragrance products because I have perioral dermatitis, and most drugstore products are fragrance. I think that's for a few reasons. I think that's because maybe they're usually fragrance is just put in a product because the raw ingredients smell. But I think the second reason is just in line with customer expectation, because if a customer, I think they think the mass market, if customers smell a product and they think, that smells like sunscreen, or like, that doesn't smell great, they're not going to want to use it, even if the product's great, which is a shame for me and people who can't use fragrance, because I don't really care. I mean, as long as it doesn't smell awful, then I'm fine using it. I'd so much rather it not smell of anything or smell of the ingredients than smell of some random grandma perfume that seems to be in all these drugstore products. Just looking at the ingredients list, to be honest, do I think this is the most acne friendly formula? No, not really. Typical of sunscreens, we have some waxes, we have isopropyl myristate. This is in a lot of sunscreens because it's hard to make sunscreens with a nice texture. So I think that's why sunscreens tend to break people out a lot. First of all, UV filters, they're doing so much on the skin that it's likely people are going to get irritation from them, because if you think about what a sunscreen does, taking the sun's rays, converting it into heat, that is quite a big thing to do on a daily basis. So it doesn't surprise me that sunscreens are a tricky thing to get right, because they're a tricky thing to formulate with and they're doing quite a big job on the skin, so it's not that surprising that they're going to irritate the skin. So when you couple that with the fact that people are looking for a sunscreen that feels like a foundation, it's going to be a lot of trial and error, and it's going to be really hard for cosmetic chemists to make sunscreen that feels nice, doesn't irritate the skin and doesn't break you out. I think this Garnier Wonder Tint is one that I would like to try, but I know that I can't because of the fragrance. I don't think it's particularly acne friendly. Does that make it a bad product? No, not really, because I think to create good sunscreen is a really hard thing to do. I myself am making a face tan, and I know that a lot of people are hoping that I make a sunscreen. I would never start by making a sunscreen because it's like the hardest thing to do ever. Like, I know you can make sunscreen, you'll see cosmetic chemists on TikTok be like, this is how to make a sunscreen. It's not gonna be a nice one. Like, it's not gonna look nice, it might pill, it might give you a white cast. Like, there's a reason there's so many crap sunscreens, and it's because it's a hard thing to make. It's also very expensive because you have to do all the testing. So that's why you get skincare brands who have everything but a sunscreen, because sunscreen, it's almost like you're doomed if you make a sunscreen. So that's why there's so many rubbish ones. And do I think this Garnier one, I think it's a good budget option if you don't have overly sensitive skin, but it's probably not gonna work for a lot of people who are acne prone or have perioral dermatitis, for example. And then the last product is the Medicube No Cast Just Glow. I actually think this one looks quite good and I might try it. We have a lot of ingredients that are designed to kind of like thicken it and play with the texture. Sorry for the construction work in the background. Those ingredients tend to make me nervous, but I don't believe in singling out ingredients and saying, nope, that will definitely break you out just because that's in it, because you won't believe how many times that's just not true. I've tried products with no comedogenic ingredients, no pore cloggers, they break me out. I've tried products with pore cloggers and comedogenic ingredients, they don't break me out. It's not an exact science. So I do take risks with the products that I used. I mean, I'm sure I took a risk when I tried this, and that risk paid off, and it just proves that you can have a product with pore cloggers in it that doesn't clog your pores. So I would take a risk with this Medicube No Cast Just Glow. Is that really the name? Collagen Glow Sunscreen. Why have they written No Cast Just Glow on it then? That's weird. I would try this one. I think it's a worthwhile one to try if you have acne prone skin. As always, patch test. I just try the product on this side of my face one time. I leave it a couple of days. I watch for any breakouts. I often get breakouts within those 2 or 3 days. And then that's how you know to not bother trying it again. Because obviously everyone's different. I don't really have breakouts, and so it's easy for me to see, but that is my method. I think even if you have breakouts, you can still benefit from patch testing, because you don't know if it's going to give you like irritation or reaction, itchiness. It might even just look horrible, so you'd be like, well, I'm glad I didn't use that on my whole face because it peels like crazy. But even if you do have breakouts, you can still notice a difference in the way your skin is behaving, or the type of breakouts, or the texture of that side of the face after just like 1, 2 or 3 applications. So I probably will try this sunscreen. I think it looks like a good one, and I probably will also try the Supergoop Dew screen. This was a long video. Let me know if you liked it, and because it's quite long and I don't want to be boring people, so if you like it, let me know and I'll make more, or I won't. God, I need a glass of water now.